So in today's video, we're going to see which Samsung Galaxy S series phone will be best for you, especially in the upcoming Flipkart BBD sale 2024. And I'm going to explain you in details why it's good or why it's bad. Starting right off with the Samsung S21FE that was launched about 2 years ago with the Exynos 2100 processor, and then again last year with the Snapdragon AAA. The expected pricing of this device is supposed to be around 25 to 26,000 in this year's BBD sale, and for that price it still might attract a lot of smartphone buyers, especially who wanted to get a Samsung S series phone in a budget. The reason is simple: it has an amazing display along with a set of fine-tuned cameras which is still rocking and giving tight competition to newer phones around the 30,000 rupees price mark, and also amazing Samsung software experience. But I would still not recommend you this in 2024 because of two main reasons. Number one being the processor, and number two the software longevity. Now the processor is a Snapdragon AAA, so you might ask what's the issue. The main issue being that Samsung made this particular processor, and almost no Samsung processors that were made before 2024 were heat or battery efficient. You could even cook an egg if you wanted, meaning it heats a lot even in casual tasks like watching YouTube videos. Now it doesn't heat to that extent where you can't use or anything. A good case for this phone might solve the feeling of heat in your hands to an extent, but compared to other processors or phones in this range, it tends to heat a lot more. And where there's heating, there's bad battery life too. The battery life, I would say, will just be average for most people out there. And number two, this one is only gonna get Android updates till the Android 15 most probably, and security updates till 2025, and then it's just an old phone, so it doesn't make much sense to buy this in 2024. You would also need a power bank and a 25 watts fast charger to buy separately. I would only suggest you this as a secondary device for maybe the good cameras, but not as a main or primary device. Now the Samsung S22 is all around the lines of the S21FE, and this one was also launched about 2 years ago, and it is supposed to be priced under 30,000 rupees in the BBD sales, and this has even better set of cameras and display, while software experience is almost about the same. But here's the same deal: the processor and the software updates. The processor being the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, which was also manufactured by Samsung, and so this will also give you the feeling of using an induction oven in your hands. Yes, a good cover might take that off a bit, but as I said, heating not only makes the phone uncomfortable to use or limits heavy tasks, but also kills the battery way too quick. And the S21FE still managed to give an average battery life with its 4500 mAh battery, but this one's got a even lower 3700 mAh battery. So you can just imagine how terrible the battery performance will be, especially for gamers. And this one's also getting Android updates till Android 15 and security updates till 2025. And a 25 watts fast charger and a power bank will also be needed to be purchased if you plan to buy this, but again only as a secondary device, not as your primary device. The Samsung S23 might be priced at around 30 to 34,000 rupees in the BBD sales, and even though it has a braille chin, I mean big bezels, this phone is actually better than the S21FE or the S22 in almost all other departments. The display is really a good one even with those big bezels. The camera performance is also very good for the price. This one will get updates till Android 17 and security updates till 2028, and the better part, even though this phone uses an Exynos 2200, the heating and the battery life is much more manageable than the S21FE or the S22. Even if it has a chance of relaunching with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, it wouldn't make much of a difference. As I said, Samsung has also manufactured that particular processor, and it might be priced higher than 35,000 rupees if it launches before the BBD sale. So would only recommend this phone, doesn't matter with Exynos or Snapdragon processor, if it comes around the 30 to 34,000 rupees price range. A separate 25 watts charger will also be need to be bought with this one if you don't already have one at home. The Samsung S23 is next in the line, and I'm sure a lot of people got excited just by hearing the name, and it is expected to be selling left and right because it is way better than all of the mentioned devices in almost every department. And the expected pricing is even more exciting, as it is supposed to be coming at the price of rupees 40,000 to 45,000 in this year's BBD sale, and for that price it's gonna be a really good deal. The display, even though some might not like the small display, still is an amazing one with a flagship grade set of cameras and software updates till 2028 and Android updates till Android 17. But most importantly, even though it has a smaller capacity battery at only 3900 mAh, but it still beats all the previously mentioned S series phones easily. Reason being the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 for Galaxy used in this one, which not only provides a decent battery life but also really good performance. So if you have the budget, get this one without any doubts. A 25 watts charger is still needed to be bought though. The S23's bigger brother S23 Plus is also going to be available in the sale at under 50,000 rupees most probably, and it gets all the same good qualities from the S23 in a bigger screen and a bigger battery. So get that if you needed a bigger screen phone and a better battery life than the S23. A 45 watts charger will be needed with this one. The S23 Ultra is one of the best Samsung S series device Samsung has ever made, and this one is expected to come under the price of 70,000 rupees, and for that price it almost has everything you ever needed from a smartphone, be it the stunning looking display or one of the best camera setups in the market. So if you have the budget, get that without a doubt. A 45 watts charger will also be needed with this one. The S24 series is just a couple of months old, so don't expect huge price cuts on these, but still the S24 might be available at under 60,000 rupees, and even though it uses an Exynos 2400, it is a way better Exynos processor that Samsung has ever made. So yeah, the heating and battery life is well balanced on this one, even though I think the S23's battery life is a bit better than this, but still acceptable battery life from this one too. Yes, this one also has amazing cameras and displays and up to 7 years of updates, so that's a really good one. But still I think the S23 will be a better value for money deal deal in this case. But don't forget to get a 25W charger with this phone if you don't already have. The S24 is elder, but the S24 Plus will also be available at around 75,000 most probably, and for that price it's a good phone, gets all the good stuff from the S24. But again, as mentioned earlier, the S23 Ultra might also be around the same price, and it will be a much better device than this one if these comes around the same price. A 45W charger with this one also please. Then the current beast from Samsung, the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, which might be also at around 1 lakh or 1,10,000 or something, is a device that you need no explanation for. It uses the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 unlike its predecessors and has everything almost perfect. So if you're rich and wanted the best Samsung S series phone in 2024, here's your deal. Yes, a 45W charger will also be needed, but I guess at this point it's a puny little thing for your purchase. So I guess that explained to you which Samsung S series phone you should get. If still not, ask me in the comments. And this is that video I made about the detailed pricing of the Samsung S series phones for the upcoming BBD sales. So do give that a watch. Until then, this was Ridip and see you guys.